Welcome to Cheater Confessions. Let's get started with today's story. I'd always believed routines told the truth long before people did. Mine had been simple for 2 years. Morning runs, black coffee, office by 8, Carmen kissing my cheek before her shift in marketing. I had helped her land the role. She called it luck. I called it timing. Jimmy sat 3 floors above us in a glass office, head of regional operations. Confident, well-spoken, respected. Around the floors, people lowered their voices when he passed. Lately, he'd found reasons to drift near my desk. "She's impressive," he said one afternoon, nodding toward the hallway where Carmen had just disappeared. "Focused, driven. You picked a good one, Darrell." "Carmen earned it," I replied. His smile stayed a second too long. Nothing I could prove. Only instinct shifted. Over the next week, Carmen's schedule bent out of shape. "Launch prep," she said, tying her hair up. "Jimmy wants everything tight." She kissed me quickly and headed out, heels sharp against tile. Midnight returns. Shower on. Phone face down. Explanations prepared, delivered too easily. Thursday, 7:18 p.m. Carmen texted, "Working late with the team. Don't wait up." "Understood. Be safe," I replied. I reheated leftovers and sat on the couch. The apartment was too quiet. I scrolled through my phone without asking anything. A new story circle glowed at the top of my screen. Carmen's friend, Jasmine Torres. Girls' night. I tapped it out of idle curiosity. Loud music. Faces flushed with laughter. Jasmine spun the camera, shouting something I couldn't hear. Then the lens swung toward a curved booth in the back. Carmen was there. Not alone. Her hands were in Jimmy's hair. His fingers gripped her waist, their mouths pressed together without urgency, without guilt. 10 seconds. Unmistakable. My thumb didn't move. My breathing didn't change. I watched once. Then again. I screen-recorded the clip, saved it, and locked my phone. Across the room, the clock ticked forward. My girlfriend had said she was working late. She'd been telling the truth, just not the kind the company would forgive. I didn't sleep, not because of shock, but because my mind was already moving pieces into place. By sunrise, the video lived in 3 places: cloud storage, personal email, external drive. Redundancy removes doubt. At 6:40 a.m., Carmen texted, "Just leaving the office. I'm exhausted." I replied, "No problem. Get some rest." At my kitchen counter, I opened my company's policy manual and searched relation, reporting, favoritism. Section numbers appeared, clear as coordinates. A paragraph stood out. Indirect authority relationships prohibited. Consequences listed. No ambiguity. I drafted one message and one message only. To Marianne Blake, Human Resources. CC, Stephen Cho, Legal Counsel. Subject, Conflict of Interest, Reporting Violation. No emotion, no speculation, just structure. Yesterday evening at approximately 9:30 p.m., I became aware of a possible violation involving Regional Director Jimmy Carter and Marketing Associate Carmen Lewis. She operates within his indirect reporting chain. Attached is a time-stamped video captured by a third party. I request this be reviewed immediately. I am concerned about professional retaliation. I attached the clip. I hit send. The reply came before 8. "Thank you for bringing this to our attention. We will begin an internal review immediately. We appreciate your discretion." Then I opened a blank document and wrote out the last 30 days. Dates, times, late nights, weekend meetings, gaps, lies hidden in routine. At 8:51 a.m., the calls started. One from Carmen, declined. Another one, silenced. Then a number I recognized but had never saved. Jimmy. I let it ring. My inbox refreshed. IT notification. User account access has been suspended. No name. I knew whose. At 9:17, Carmen texted once more. "Darrell, they just shut off my laptop. What did you do?" I placed the phone face down on the table. The system had already answered for me. At 9:26 a.m., Marianne called. "Are you somewhere private?" "Yes." "There has been a clear violation of company policy," she said. "Jimmy Carter and Carmen Lewis have both been terminated, effective immediately. Security has been notified. Their access is revoked." "I understand. You handled this professionally, Darrell. We appreciate that." The call ended. The doorbell rang a second later. Hard, repeated, aggressive. I stood, walked across the living room, and looked through the peephole. Carmen filled the frame, hair tangled, eyes glassy, rage and panic mixed together. "Open the door!" she shouted, pounding again. "I know you're in there!" I unlocked it and stepped back. "They fired me," she blurted. "My email, my system, everything is gone. What did you tell them?" I sent the truth. "You sent a video," she snapped. "That was none of your business." "You made it my business when you chose him," I said, keeping my voice level. She looked past me into the apartment, as if expecting to see someone else there. "Let me in. We need to talk." "You already did," I replied, "in a booth at a bar." Her expression cracked like glass. "It wasn't serious. It meant nothing. I was stressed. He was offering support." "You were kissing your director while I was at home waiting," I said. "That was a decision." She pushed inside, looking around, breathing fast. "You ruined my career. You had no right." "I had every right to protect mine." She paced the room. "You're overreacting. It's not illegal to make a mistake. It is when power is involved." Silence filled the space between us, heavy and final. "So what now?" she asked, softer. "You'll pack a bag. 1 hour. Essentials only." Her head snapped up. "This is my home." "It's my condo," I replied. "You're a guest who broke the agreement." "You can't do this to me." "I already have." Tears streaked down her face, but no apology followed. She moved toward the bedroom, throwing drawers open, dragging clothes onto the bed. Anger replaced fear as quickly as it came. "You're heartless," she muttered. "You always were." I leaned on the doorway. "No, I'm consistent." A suitcase zipped closed. She wheeled it past me, stopping at the threshold. "You'll regret this." "I already learned from it." The door slammed. The apartment breathed again. So did I. Silence lasted exactly 2 days. On the third morning, my phone lit up with a text from Carmen. "I'm at my mother's place. It's humiliating. Everyone knows what happened." I didn't answer. A second message followed. "No one is hiring me. Jasmine won't even reply. Say something." I placed the phone back on the counter and kept working. An hour later, a new tone entered the conversation. "You destroyed my career. You owe me help." Still nothing from me. By afternoon, the words grew sharper. "Transfer money or I will tell people you were controlling. You won't look so perfect then." That message got stored, time-stamped, archived. That evening, another number appeared. A long voice note arrived, followed by text. "This is Jimmy's partner, Rachel. You went too far. He was guiding Carmen. You twisted something harmless into ruin. Fix this by calling your company and apologizing. Tell them it was a misunderstanding." I typed once. "I won't lie for either of you. Please don't contact me again." Her response was immediate. "There will be consequences." I blocked the number. 3 days passed. Then a knock at my door brought everything into a new phase. A man in a plain jacket held out a thick envelope. "You're Darrell Scott?" "Yes." "You've been served." Inside was a formal complaint filed by Jimmy Carter. He accused me of defamation, manipulation, workplace sabotage, and emotional revenge. According to the document, I was a jealous subordinate who fabricated a recording through digital editing to damage his reputation. Attached to the filing was a sworn statement, signed by Carmen. In carefully written lines, she accused me of intimidation, obsession, and psychological pressure. She claimed Jimmy was nothing more than a professional mentor. She claimed I had threatened her. She claimed the bar footage was falsified. The lies were detailed, coordinated, prepared. They had turned the narrative upside down, pointing every finger at me. I didn't feel panic. I felt clarity. I picked up my phone, opened my contacts, and called the only person whose name had been recommended to me by a senior colleague. Alexis Ward, attorney. She answered on the second ring. "I'm being sued," I said, "and I'm not the one who lied." After a pause, her voice came back calm and sharp. "Good. Then we'll prove it." Alexis Ward didn't waste time. By the next morning, she sat across from me, reviewing every document, message, and timestamp in silence. When she finally spoke, it was precise. "They built a story," she said. "Now we dismantle it, line by line." A formal notice went out that afternoon. Jasmine Torres was to be deposed under oath. The same woman who had unknowingly recorded the moment now held the key to ending the fiction Jimmy and Carmen had created. Jasmine arrived 2 days later in a small conference room, shoulders tight, hands folded. Alexis sat across from her. I stayed to the side, silent, letting facts replace emotion. Was the evening in question a company-sponsored event? Alexis asked. No, Jasmine said quickly. It was just us. A girls' night. Did Mr. Jimmy Carter arrive as part of work responsibilities? He wasn't supposed to be there. Carmen invited him. He showed up later. Did anyone instruct you to record or stage a scene? No, I was just posting for fun. Did you alter or modify the clip in any way? Jasmine shook her head. I wouldn't even know how. Alexis slid a printed still image across the table. Is this your footage? Yes. Is that Miss Carmen Lewis and Mr. Carter in the frame? Yes. And what exactly were they doing? Jasmine swallowed. They were kissing. The word landed hard in the empty room. Her phone was then collected by a technician, hidden data extracted, saved files recovered, metadata confirmed, location tags verified. Every technical detail aligned with the timestamp Carmen had claimed she was working late. Alexis glanced at me briefly. No smile, no nod, only certainty. They said we used deception, she said. But we have the original truth. Jasmine finally looked at me, guilt in her eyes. I should have told you sooner. I panicked when you messaged me that night. You're telling it now, I replied. That's enough. Outside the building, Alexis handed me a copy of the signed deposition. This is the crack in their foundation, she said. Next, we bring the whole thing down. For the first time since that night, I felt something shift. Not relief. Momentum. The courtroom smelled faintly of paper and polish. Jimmy sat across the aisle, jaw tight, hands folded too perfectly. Carmen did not look at me. Alexis rose first. Mr. Carter, she said, voice measured. Your claim states that evening was a professional gathering, correct? Yes, he replied. A casual team meet. Alexis turned slightly, signaling for the screen behind her to activate. Jasmine Torres has testified there was no company instruction, no invitation through official channels, no corporate purpose, only personal intent. Jimmy shifted. His fingers tapped once against the table, then stilled. That testimony could be biased, his attorney interrupted. Which is why we focused on independent evidence, Alexis answered. She nodded again. Another image appeared. A short video frame froze on screen. Jimmy standing beside a table, holding a glass. Jasmine's voice echoed faintly from the recording. When your director buys champagne? His image wavered on the wall behind him. Younger, smiling, confident. Alexis let the silence stretch. Now let us discuss the financial record tied to that moment. The next slide displayed an itemized receipt. Date, time, location, total, over $1,000. Mr. Carter, Alexis continued, can you confirm this expenditure was placed on a company-issued card? Jimmy looked toward his counsel. Answer the question, the judge said. Yes, Jimmy muttered. And can you explain how a spontaneous social gathering, not approved, not documented, generated a corporate purchase? No response came. Alexis spoke once more, quieter now, controlled. So your claim shifts. You deny intimacy. You deny intent. You deny personal involvement. Yet your own card purchased celebration. Your presence was voluntary. Your image is confirmed. Your statements contradict the record. His attorney leaned in, whispered something urgently. Jimmy said nothing. A recess was requested within minutes. By the time the room reconvened, the papers in front of me changed tone. The case was no longer aimed at me. It was retreating from him. The hallway outside the courtroom filled with quiet movement. No celebration, no arguments, only the shuffle of consequences settling into place. Alexis returned with a thin folder. They're withdrawing the claim in full, she said. Jimmy Carter is agreeing to cover every legal expense. You'll also receive additional compensation due to malicious prosecution. Across the room, Jimmy sat slouched, skin pale. His confidence had evaporated somewhere between the receipt and the judge's silence. Carmen finally looked at me. Her eyes carried no anger now, only regret and fear. You used me, she whispered toward him. I protected myself, he replied, not even meeting her gaze. That was the end of whatever illusion they'd built. Over the following days, the effects spread quickly. Jimmy's name was removed from internal boards, professional groups, and upcoming industry panels. His company initiated its own financial investigation. Clients quietly withdrew. His partner moved out. Carmen's situation collapsed even faster. No company would call her back. Word had moved through local circles. Colleagues who once invited her out now ignored her. Jasmine didn't return messages. Former friends kept distance. She moved back into her mother's small apartment on the edge of town, waitressing part-time where no one cared about resumes or titles. Tips replaced ambition. Nights replaced plans. She tried once more to reach me. I was scared. He told me what to say. I didn't know he'd leave me like this. I watched the message sit unread until the screen dimmed. It wasn't revenge. It was distance. A week later, Marianne from HR called me into a meeting. "We'd like you in a senior leadership role. You showed integrity under pressure. That matters here." I accepted. On my first day back, I walked past Jimmy's old floor. What had once towered now looked ordinary, temporary. Later that night, I received one last message from an unknown number. "I hope you're finally happy, Darrell." I deleted it. Some questions don't earn answers. 3 months passed before life settled into anything that resembled normal again. The office moved differently. Voices softened when I entered rooms. People who had once gone silent around Jimmy now spoke openly, almost cautiously, like they were relearning how power was supposed to look. His absence had created a vacuum, but not a void. Work still got done. Deadlines still mattered. The difference was that nothing felt poisoned anymore. I had taken his former responsibilities in stages. No fanfare, no announcement email, just a heavier calendar and a new office number. Same building, higher floor, clearer view. No messages waited for me when I arrived. No nervous smiles, no awkward tension. Just tasks. That was how I knew I'd moved on. One evening, as the sky dimmed against the windows, Marianne stopped by my door. "You turned a disaster into stability," she said. "Most people wouldn't have held steady." "I didn't do anything special. I just didn't lie." She nodded once. "That's rarer than you think." At home, the condo felt different. The absence of Carmen had stopped echoing and started sounding like peace. The space belonged to me again, not a memory. I packed a small bag that night. Simple things: passport, clothes, a paperback I hadn't opened yet. At the airport the next morning, I watched travelers rush in every direction, chasing something. I wasn't chasing anything this time. My phone vibrated once. Unknown number. "I'm starting over. I hope you are too." I stared at the message for a moment, then powered the phone off. The same screen that had once shown me betrayal now reflected only my own face. Calm, unbothered, clean. When my name was called for boarding, I stepped forward without looking back. Carmen had texted that she was working late. She hadn't been lying after all. She'd just been building an ending she never expected me to survive. Thank you for watching.